So once you get the energy audited by some accredited energy auditor firm, there's a now actions. There's a actions to take the plan. We have to take the actions. For that, some planning has to be done. So energy actions and the planning is the next topic. Oh, why that screen? Okay. So basic steps in energy action planning. It's a top management commitment and support is required. These are the various steps in energy action planning. Then we have to assess the energy profile and establish the baseline, energy policy and planning, define the energy policy and plan to take the necessary steps, implement, check. So plan, do, that is implement, check. So evaluate once again the energy performance. If there is some change, so reassess, go back to the assessing energy profile and establish baseline. And if it is achieved, then recognize the achievements what we have done. So these are the basic steps. There are four pillars for successful energy management uh, uh, to make the energy management program successful. So any successful energy program within an organization needs the obviously the total support and commitment from the top management. If top management accepts the view that energy efficiency is a good business and need to be implemented to save the lot of money, then it becomes very easier. So top management support is must. Then there's a strategic plan. Then we have to implement some monitoring system. Okay, things are going in the way what we have planned. As well as to do all these things, the team needs a technical ability. Then and then things can be successfully implemented. Top management commitment and supports, they should allocate the necessary manpower and the resource like money, obviously. Appoint as per the B, they have to, if they are the designated consumer, then they are appointed legally, they have to appoint an energy manager. But even though they are not DC, they can appoint the energy manager, form a dedicated energy team as an energy conservation cell who will work on the in the direction of energy. Top management commitment supports requires to institute an energy policy also. The task for energy managers, it's a setting the goal, tracking the progress, promote the energy management programs, and energy manager role can be full-time or part-time. That depends upon the size of the organizations. Now, there are many responsibilities as far as energy manager is concerned. Prepare the activity plan, annual activity plan, establish the energy consumption cells, initiate, reduce the energy costs. There are many. Uh, this also you have seen in our prospectus. But the questions can come, and I have seen many times. Write down the duties of energy managers. This we should understand. This is defined by under the Energy Conservation Act. The duties are report to B. So a name will be given to the B from each industry. This person is having a so and so designation. He is a energy manager for the industry. So that detail will be given to B. Apart from that, at state level, like in Gujarat, it's a JEDA. Every 1 year, that detail has to be given. Then they have to submit the report. The informations with regard to energy consumed and action taken on the recommendations of the accredited energy auditor as per the BE format. They have to establish an improved data recording, collection, and analysis system to keep track of energy consumptions. It provides support to accredited energy audit firm retained by the company for the conduct of energy audit. It provides information to BE as demanded in the Act and with respect to the task given by the mandate and the job descriptions. It prepares a scheme for energy efficient use of energy and the conservations, and to implement such scheme, keeping a view in the economic stability in such form economic stability of investment in such form and manner as may be provided by the regulation of the EC. To do that, marketing of energy management program, which is one of the most important role of energy manager is marketing or selling the energy management program to the top management. And the best way to convince the management with the facts and figures using different tools. Then form an energy committee. The committee is usually composed of several executives having a strong technical backgrounds. It may be from different discipline like electrical, mechanical, thermal, so chemical. The responsibility is to provide technical assistance to the energy manager as well as plant level people. Before laying any action plan, it is necessary to understand the current as well as past situation. That's why data has to be collected, energy data has to be collected. So first step is to find out how, when, where energy is being used. This information is necessary for establishing the baseline and managing the energy use. So collect the data. It must be complete and accurate as it would be used for some analysis and the trends to define the understand the trends and setting the goals. It can be obtained from utilities bills as well as some measurements, calculations, or some estimations. It should include all the types of energy, either it's a purchase or generated on site in a single unit, maybe kilowatt hour, maybe kilocalorie, or maybe kilocalorie per kg of the product, or you can say on cost basis. At least 2 years data must be collected, and if possible, it's a monthly basis. That will be good. It will be easy to set the goals. After collecting the data, track the more recent data has to be used. After collecting data, it has to be tracked data. So some of the data which is not related to energy. So non-energy data is like related to facilities operations such as the size of the building, productions, capacity utilizations, operating hours related to ambient conditions that needs to be collected. And then it will help to find out the EPI, some energy performance indicator like kilowatt hour per ton of products. Then many times we have to do the normalizations because energy use of facilities varies widely for reasons other than energy efficiency of equipment or the system. And those factors are something like, season, something seasonally it will be changed, maybe depends on occupancy, energy choice, quality of the raw material product mix. So it needs to be normalized. So normalization is the process of removing the impact of such factors on the energy use so that the energy performance of the equipment as well as the facilities can be compared. Then establish the baseline. The purpose of the baseline is to determine the reference point from where the progress needs to be measured. Identify the key performance indicators, that is kcal per ton, that is specific energy consumption, kilocalorie per kWh, that is a plant heat rate if I talk about the power plant. Total energy cost per ton of product. Publish and share the baseline with the key executives. Then analyze energy use patterns and trend that helps to identify the factors that helps the energy performance and steps to reduce the energy consumptions. There are basically two methods, quantitative review and qualitative review. In quantitative review, identify the energy consumption peaks and valleys, and determine how much there is a relationship with the key indicators, as well as compare the performance data of similar facilities to benchmark. In case of a qualitative review, we conduct the interviews, get the informations from colleagues or what lessons we have learned with through some survey or through some in-house audit, as well as review the policies and operating procedure to determine the impact of energy use. Then conduct the energy audit. And as know, we know that audit is nothing but evaluate the actual performance against the desired performance or the best available technology, or you can say benchmark. Then preparation of a report containing detailed summary of the actual steps that can be taken to reduce the energy consumptions with some recommended actions, including some cost. If there is some minor replacement, so there has to be some cost. Now, energy policy and planning. There are various components of planning, that is developing the energy policy, setting some objectives and targets, prepare the detailed action plans, allocate management resources, utilizing various management techniques like 5S, TPM, TQM, Kaizen. We'll see each. First, develop an energy policy. As we know, when there is an energy policy, a formal return energy policy, it will act as a public expressions of the organization's management commitments toward the energy. It works as some documents to guide the energy management practices and provides to the organizations. The statement should include the goal and or you can say objective of the company and the more concrete target in the field of energy management. Then setting the goals. Once there is a potential for improvement have been estimated, goals can be established at the appropriate organization level. So setting goals ensure that company has defined success criteria so that progress towards energy efficiency can be measured. It can be long term, it can be short term, medium term. For example, reducing specific energy consumption of clinker, that's in the cement plant, from 100 kilowatt hour per ton of clinker to 90 kilowatt hour per ton by March 2021. Or you can say 10% reduction in coal consumption by the end of 2020. So there are some specific, target with, you can say time bound. So you have to set the target, that's a goal, then there is a set the target. The targets can be set at the department level so that it can achieve the overall organization goals. And it should be attainable but challenging. And it will help that SMART has to be followed. We know this. SMART is nothing but specific and measurable. It should be specific. It should be measurable, attainable, achievable, then realistic and time bound. Okay, with some time period has to be there. Specified time limit has to be given. For example, reducing raw meal energy consumptions. So it's a specific, measurable by 20%. So it's a measurable. We know that can be achievable by modifying some raw meal fan by July 2021. So there's a time bound. Say another example is achieve 10% reduction in power consumption in air compressor by modifying the piping system by April 2021. To do that, there is one tool, force field analysis. This is important. I have seen many times this question has been asked in a theory in the exams. They define about force field analysis. What is force field analysis and how it is important in energy action planning. So before creating the action plan, we have to understand, we have to find out what are the barriers that needs to be overcome and what are the influencing factors that are available which helps us to achieve the goal, what we have fixed or what we have decided. So force field analysis is a tool that can be used to gain additional insight about the change process to be pursued. Barriers will be known as the negative forces and influences are known as the positive forces, are those which influence the organization to achieve the organization goal. Steps: first, state the organization goal, indicate the direction which signifies moving towards the goal, that is left to right. Then find the barriers that tend to work against the goal. Identify the influences that tend to work towards the goal. Estimate the strength of each force, that is barriers as well as influences. Then prioritize those forces that can be strengthened or weakened through some action plan. And attempt to minimize negative forces rather than trying to strengthen the forces which are already positive. For example, this is one of the typical force field analysis. The goal is to reduce the energy consumptions per unit of productions. So there is the arrow left to right. The positive force will show left to right, so it will help to achieve the goal. It's acting towards the achievement of the goal, like high price of the energy. It is a good impact because as the price will be high, it forces us to reduce the energy consumption so that cost benefit can be gained. Energy efficient technology available, little bit lower force. Incentives of high power factors, very low. It won't give much benefit to reduce the energy consumptions. Top management commitment to energy consumption, yes, it's very important. And energy is a relative high components of product cost, not that much. So this will give you some idea where I have to work. So rather than attending more on positive side, let us do some actions to reduce this negative force, impact of this negative force, like absence of corporate energy policies. So let's work on that. Lack of awareness throughout the company. So let's work on that to make the executives, or you can say people, to more aware about the energy. Insufficient skills and knowledge, competence. So these are the negative forces which goes against the goal. So this tool will help you where to work and prioritize, help you where to keep our actions plan so that our goal can be achieved. Now, once planning, there is the effective implementations, some communications, some of the things which can help us. Communications, so create some communication plan, develop targeted information for key employees about the energy management program, raising general awareness through some training and mass, you can say. Then improving facility of energy awareness. Apart from communication, there's a training, so use of knowledge and information systems. Computer-based information system provides an excellent means of sharing the informations. Then awareness and motivations, build moral and encouragement to the executives, employees. Follow good practices for building awareness, like top management gives strong attention to energy conservations. Inform all the key staff of the organization about energy losses. Convince them the benefit of the energy savings. So these are some good practices. Then tracking and monitoring on based on information system. Evaluate the progress with respect to goals and targets. Review the action plan and give the recognitions. Recognitions can be internal and external. Internal level, recognize there is a recognition level, either it's an individual or it's a team or department. There has to be some criteria, recognitions criteria, or determines what kind of recognitions will be given. Recognition criteria can be, that must include the achievement, like offer the best energy saving idea or increase saving by quantified amount. Through external recognitions from a third party that can provide the validations of the what are the programs we have achieved, that is energy management programs. like for example, getting the National Energy Excellence Awards. Many at national level, many institutes are conducting, like CI is one of them. So that's an external recognitions. Now, come to the important topic for exams. There are many tools which helps to implement. That's a PIS, Kaizen, small group activities, PPM, TQM, ISO 50000.